Today, we're going to talk about how to get your music to be discovered, playable, even seen or heard in this current generation of new technology. Legacy outputs, so many new ways to output your music, and of course, marketing strategies for right now.
Yes. Okay, first of all, what is new technology? Maybe I can say AI.
Yeah, artificial intelligence. Of course, a lot of musicians are really scared about using artificial intelligence because they think instantly you're talking about just prompting something into existence, say new lyrics or a nice melody or some type of bass line or the story for this beautiful love song. It's not just that. Obviously we're going to use AI to our benefit. We're not going to just let AI take control of our destinies in terms of the music that we create. But Hiroyo, let's discuss how important it is to have your music discovered by AI, large language models. How can we do that? Why is this necessary?
All of the place, even, for example, even YouTube, everything use AI. So we have to understand what is the food of AI and LLM. That is very important for us musicians to be discovered. So I think is what is the good yummy food for them.
Right.
Okay, so maybe you shared many things. Yeah, Spotify, SEO, and AEO. What is that?
Yep.
Maybe
See,
AI?
AEO is something new, right? Well, yeah, it's really search engine optimization and answer engine optimization. Of course, an answer engine is some
Answer.
large language model. Perhaps even FL Pro is an answer engine. It's a different kind of answer engine. It's one that's designed to help you produce better music and release ready music using FL Studio Mobile. This is also a product that we've created. But yeah, this is essentially an AEO in its own way. But generally speaking, AEO is talking about answer engines such as the world's leading AI tools that we use today. How can you get your music, your video, your content, your marketing efforts to be shown in an answer engine, AI search tool?
I see. Okay, so let's think about how to find a good food for them. Okay, if I say I released a new song, they don't like it. What is a new song? I don't understand what is the new song, so they need more details about this. So what is details? Something like, okay, this is atmospheric electric music for late night focus, quiet travel, emotional reset, and a cinematic reflection. There are so delicious food.
Right, it's a lot of delicious verbiage for these LLMs because you could just say chill music. That may have worked on YouTube and other platforms a decade or more ago, but today you can't just say calming music, relaxing sounds. You're more like getting into relaxing sounds for an autumn day while waiting for your kids to come home from school.
Exactly. Yeah.
You have to give some details and context because this is now social media. We're talking about SEO, but in actuality, it's more like interest media. What are people interested in? They like that cup of tea. They have kids. They are, let's say, a homemaker. So while waiting for your kids to finish school, sipping tea on an autumn day, that sounds like, hey, school just started. It's September. It's October. It's a lifestyle, right? You have to you have to find your audience.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Yes, narrative or story we have to create for our songs. Okay, for example, let's take a memo. Okay, what you need to describe your music, what kind of music it is. Of course, yes. What mood it has, or who it may be for, or when someone might listen to it, what kind of experience it creates, and what search concept it is connected to.
Right. For me, one of the best things in the simplest ways is to answer the 5 W's: who, what, where, why, when. As an example, who is it for? What perhaps are they doing? What is the song about? Why do they want to listen to it? Why are they in need of this content? There are many other whys you can answer. When will they consume it? Right? And so forth, right? Things of that nature. If you find more detail in those, if you can answer those 5 questions with your approach, you're going to be able to target a very specific audience. Now, yes, we talk about niching down. This is one trouble where you can actually focus on too small of an audience, but sometimes it's good to niche up into a broader audience, but that still captures the essence of what you're looking for. So it's clearly simple enough to say that posting a lot will definitely help, but posting a lot with clear intentions absolutely gives these search engines, these AI search tools, these AEO search tools, or LLMs, the ability to consistently share your music and your marketing strategies, your efforts with the right people. Let's
Yeah.
talk about something else. Unless you have a few other comments to make about this.
It's not just about quantity. Is they really love to about clear concept or context.
Context, yeah.
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 And
Yeah.
consistently. Yeah, you have to one narrative and then to break up the piece of puzzles and then spread it out on the social media. That should be good, but one concept and context should be good.
Yeah, like we can't stress how much the context is important, because I don't think it's necessary anymore now that we have so much detailed opportunities to create such detailed information. So the description of your video, the description of your song, you can put out a video and you can put out a blog and a podcast and a short film and an interview series. The list can keep going on. You could do all of this to accompany your one song. So this is letting us know that music albums are becoming slowly a legacy experience. This is not necessarily me saying an old or outdated experience. It's a legacy experience, which suggests that there are more experiences that we can bring to accompany what we did in the past. This is kind of more of a more surface area to play with. So I guess it kind of means that your album may not be the leading target or the leading horse in your distribution process. I mean, the album might just be the last thing that people click after consuming all of your content that you create, your marketing, right? Your personality building.
Oh my God. We have to be a writer.
Look, musicians have had to be writers, producers, videographers, editors, you name it, right? Planners, tour
And
planners,
the philosophers,
hosts,
I think.
philosophers, yeah, psychologists, maybe to themselves, as they wonder why their album's not selling. But that's partially why we created Dips Vibes. This is a lot of why we created Dips Vibes, because we realized after releasing music for so many years, it was so hard to just consistently make money unless we kept sharing this streaming platform's link over and over and over. So we decided to say, hey, let's build our own and allow them to create their own links and share it with their own connections, their own friends and families and supporters, and earn money while they do it in a very predictable way. The more people that sign up using your referral link in Dips Vibes as a musician, the more money you simply directly make more money. There's no, well, I didn't get that many streams this month, or I got more this month or the last month. No, you sign up, you're earning, and the more people you bring to the platform is the more you earn. It's very simple. Hiroyo and I created this platform for us, of course, but we created it with the intentions of sharing it with other people. Okay, so let's talk a bit about other outlets that we can use to get our music discovered in this generation of new technology, right? We, of course, went through AI and we're probably not done with the general topic of AI. But of course, we still have other products like, of course, albums, videos, games, podcasts, reviews, so forth, live shows, blogs, articles. There's so much. What do you want to discuss on this matter? And where do you think any of this has changed over time? Or are we kind of just stuck just trying to chase AI to figure it out?
Oh, no, no, I don't like it. So, um, this is not new technology, but collaboration would be good. If you find a good collaborator, for example, the music is for musicians, but art is for artists. If we can collaborate with, it should be something new. This is kind of an old way, but this is kind of new way because we need narrative for AI, for people, not just AI. I think people really, really love narrative stories. Um, so then that should be good.
Well, what about music streaming? I mean, generally speaking, of course, we just discussed some ideas of why we created Dips Vibes, our music streaming distributions platform for DMCA free music experiences and, of course, royalty free, you know? So,
And then one thing I want to add, one thing on our the Dips Vibes. So we created. If you artists join and then give me some idea or some request, maybe we can add some function on it to make something new platform for musicians, for users. That should be good, not just only to follow a big company's creation like Spotify, YouTube. That's good, but we can create on our production. I think that's
yeah.
new technology as it is.
We're not against streaming platforms. We think they're great. As a matter of fact, obviously, we use them forever and they inspired everything we've done to this day. But we decided that we have to take matters into our own hands as creators. And so we're expanding Dips Vibes to actually include some other music creation. Let's just say, let me take that back. Not just music creation, but creative tools, outlets, expressions, right? So we'll dive into that, of course, more into the future. But like when I look at this list of ideas by, this is specifically CD Baby, and this is the ultimate guide to music marketing in 2026. I see a lot of interesting concepts here, and a lot of this is things that we've done in the past and what we do currently, but I'm curious to know your thoughts, Hiroyo, a little bit more about things like playlists, so Spotify playlists, YouTube playlists, and even live shows. Like, where are we today?
Live show should be more important because it's easy to find the words on digital platforms, but the live show, you have to go there and get an experience for you. That's good. So more and more we need some our physical experience, I think. So we can use both of that.
Right. There are two areas as well that I think both of us are into, and I think a lot of our viewers can find value. In one, it's looking at things like emails, so things like newsletters. Let's talk about that. And the other is education and workshops. Okay.
Oh.
So let's discuss, whether it be WhatsApp or some type of community, or like whether it be school or your YouTube community, or perhaps a Moon community or Line and so forth. Discord. There are so many. I don't want to say too many, then leave some out. Substack. I don't know. There are just so many, right? So one thing about emails, as one way to communicate. It's like a phone number. It's like a mailing address. An email address is somebody's online identity. They can take this email and they can sign up for any number of websites or services, any amount of products, websites, services through email. Now, email doesn't necessarily hit everybody's inbox and become immediately opened. It could take days, weeks, months, or even potentially years for people to actually click and open your email. But a lot of times we still end up opening our emails anyway. So
Do you?
the con oh, I do, but I've got a lot of email addresses, so give me some time, okay? But the point is, nonetheless, though, if you send somebody, let's say, an Instagram message or a Snapchat or TikTok or a message on some other's app, that's WhatsApp. If they just don't even use that account anymore, then it's gone. Then the message is just going to sit there forever and never opened. But if you can send them an email directly to your show or to your experience, to your platform, your website, your app, it could take months, years, like I said, but eventually there's a high likelihood that they will open it. So capturing email addresses is super critical. And this is why, whether you're using your own website or your own app, like we have with various apps and various websites, various tools, we do this because we understand that we have to create kind of like an octopus with, more surface, more areas, more tentacles to reach people for different contexts and different intentions, right? So just having emails alone, it's not going to cut it unless you're using them on top of everything else. So yes, I'm definitely saying go out there and publish your videos, do your shorts, do this and that, your blogs and interviews, but also consider giving, every couple of weeks, let's say every month or so, as an example, some type of update directly to people through email. This might be the best way to actually sell a product or service or perhaps a live show. Let's talk about something I just mentioned, like education and workshops. The only trouble that I find with education and workshops for the average musician is that, yes, you can teach lessons. So let me kind of double back on what I'm saying. I feel that there's a limitation to what a musician can do with education and workshops, because typically, unless you're coming to the platform saying you are a saxophone player and you're teaching people how to play saxophone, well, yeah, of course there's education all day there, workshops all day. But if you're a performing musician and you're releasing albums and interviews and you feel like you've got some amazing content, the education and workshop side might be a little challenging to do. I don't know if people are going to sign up to hear you. My point is, if you're positioning yourself as a performing artist, education and workshops may not necessarily be the right angle. But that doesn't mean that you can't focus on live performances or virtual events, let's say, things like that.
You said educational, but I'm thinking while you're talking, live show itself, this concert, is already educational or given an experience. That should be good. Where live performer are already educator, I think. Don't think too much. Go for it.
That's your point. You're coming from a very artistic approach. You through the lens of a creator, a multifaceted, multi-talented creator. So I totally understand your approach and the way you're thinking about entertainment content, music content, live performance content as an educational experience. I agree. I mean, as a creator, I go to live shows, especially if I'm able to go to, let's say, a festival or an outdoor event, a huge band shell. I mean, a huge stage with 10 or 15, 20 different artists performing all day long. It's actually really amazing. I'm watching the sound, the stage representatives there setting up the sound. I'm learning from how they position the mics. Now, for me, I'm coming at it from a totally different perspective, maybe, but I'm learning how they arrange. Okay.
I learned a lot about how to set up the drums or how to play saxophone. Yeah, something like it. For me, it's a very, very educational place.
Right. Another thing that people can do is to, of course, get your music out there, your promotional efforts exposed, more outlets for your music and your content. Is let's not forget the power of things like blogs, articles, and magazines, because when you have a blog or an article or a magazine, it doesn't just it's not likely going to be a blog entirely about the music you're creating. It could be, but also there's education there, there's lifestyle
Yeah,
elements
yeah.
there to understand how you're doing it, what your process is, who you collaborated with, why this didn't work, some of the
Right.
fails, some of the successes, and maybe you could essentially fit your music, your album, your new video, your new collaboration or interview in those blogs, in those articles,
Yeah.
right? In that magazine. So yeah, like these days, and so like the main idea, like using AI to help us in this generation, is not just about how to use AI to make music. I think too many artists have it completely wrong. Most artists are so wrong, it's even hard to listen to their music anymore, hard to watch their videos, hard to see their commentary, because they're thinking that AI is just this tool that's used to make music. How about you consider using AI to help you position your music, position other content around your music to support and lift up your music, such as your blogs, such as articles, such as a magazine. Maybe it's time for you to create a magazine. Maybe it's time for you to create a new app that allows other people that want to consume music to better consume it, to better find it. And in there, you can put your own stuff in there.
Yes.
You know, we can help with the discovery of music for other people as a service, and at the same time, just slide in with, no sly way, just very openly and honestly, you slide in your own music and your own albums, your own releases, your own videos. And suddenly now your content has another outlet. Your content is viewable by a totally different audience because you gave them value. And then as you give them more value, your website becomes more trusted, and YouTube and Google and so forth, and all the different large language models, they start to understand, right, that your content, this person's related to this type of subject, this particular website or this blog or article or magazine has some type of traction and some type of trust with these sets of people. And now suddenly your music is showing up when somebody searches about music in a certain region, or how to play a certain instrument, or how to make money from a certain style of music, and so forth, right? Right. I think it's super important to understand what AI needs to actually believe you and give you a chance to even have your music played, right?
Wow. It's so nice to know. Yeah. So let's work with AI.
So let's just say YouTube is essentially no longer just for watching videos. It's the primary search engine for new kind of like cheat codes, but it's the hub, or like an archival hub of music legacy. But we need content that can explain our business, and as you said many times today, the context.
Yep.
Content that has proper context, that allows music to be shown. And it's not just the sound, it's like a lot of these artists have blogs, they have posts on different platforms that are just not being shown, and we need to build authority online. And once you gain trust with these various algorithms, then of course now you can actually start to, let's say, flourish. I could say in a simple way, but let's do a couple of quick points and say that, of course, there are major players in the music industry. We know some of the top labels. Subscriptions are still growing, so consider to yourself, maybe it's time for you to create some type of subscription platform of your own, or join one that's already working. Of course, the link is in the description for ours, Dips Vibes, right? But the emerging technologies of AI, such as generative composition, which we are not necessarily super keen on as a way to just say, I'm going to make music and just leave it at generative and just walk away. No, we will be making generative content, but we're going to, of course, use our own flavor, our own spin on it. And also there's things like AI mastering, which we can't deny is very helpful. It's it's just it's a benefit for people, for cost, even for just submitting a good demo, or just so I'm totally for AI mastering. I'm absolutely for AI tools. Let me make that super clear. But I think, of course, the limit is that for me, my limit is that I'm not so interested in just using AI to make music and just walk away and that's it. No, there's a lot of creativity there, that's kind of left on the table if you're just prompting an AI, which again, I'm also not totally against. But as a creator, I like getting my hands dirty. I like connecting patches. I like, transferring files and, playing instruments. I love that part. I don't really think I'll
Me
be
too.
giving that up, right? I don't think I'll be giving that up for the convenience of prompting an AI to make music. For me, it's not enough, right? But also with live trends, live instrumentation plus DJing, it's so much easier to DJ. And also, I like the idea of DJing because the reason why I got into DJing is because I was already a musician with albums. And I said to myself, we have CDs, we have MP3s that we're creating, but nobody's playing my music. So this is when I decided to pick up the hobby or the skill of DJing. It was the idea of, I'm already into radio and broadcasting and this and that. Why don't I become a DJ so I can actually play the music that I create with my friends and other collaborators, right? So I would go as far as to say every artist needs AI. So quit joking about it, right? Watch this video where we talk about how AI is essentially, most of music is pretty much AI, but we discuss why that's a good thing. All right. So again, watch this video to understand why we believe very strongly that AI music that's dominating is actually a good thing for you as a creator. Take it easy.
Bye.